For the first time in history, I'm standing face to face with 32 powerful royal artifacts that are finally returned to the Asante Kingdom. These treasures were stolen over 120 years ago by the British, and today they are back in the Asante Kingdom. Guys, my name is Manye Afiba and you're welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, please don't forget to subscribe, because today I'm taking you on an epic journey inside the legendary Manhyia Palace. I'm going to show you ancient royal thrones, war drums, dishwashers, fridges, a fridge that they call the everlasting. So being at this museum is like a time machine into the soul of the Asante Kingdom. And I'm not only going to show you the inside, I'm also going to show you the outside of the palace as well, because it's a whole story on its own. So guys, let's go inside the pride, the power, and the glory of the Asante Kingdom. This is not just a tour, it's a spiritual journey, and I am glad to take you through this journey. So let's go. To begin, we have a picture of the king and his two attendants, and they all have important roles to play in royal ceremonies and traditional functions, and one of the key figures is the Adinkra. So this is the king wearing batakari kesiye, a special ceremonial outfit worn only twice during the installment of the king and during the final funeral rites of the late king or his wife, and it was originally made by Otumfuo Osei, and it's believed to be a bulletproof, and it represents spiritual and physical protection for the king. And this is a picture of the king and Pope Francis when he was invited to his ceremony. So you also see the vast figure of the late Nana Yaa Asantewaa III, the firstborn of the late Asantehene, also known as Abriwetia, which means mother of nations. And there is also the waxed figure of Otumfuo Osei Tutu II, 74 years old and still standing as the pillar of the Asanteman, a king of wisdom, dignity, and transformation. Under his leadership, the Golden Stool still remains untied and powerful, and this shows that he is a true symbol of strength and unity. This is the auditorium where you sit and watch documentary videos of the Asante Kingdom. And this is the Atumpan, or the talking drums. It has a male and a female, the dona and the jamadudu. It is used as a means of communication from the king to the people. And we also have the kings and the queen palanquin. It is used as a means of transportation, and it is carried by 4 strong men, because back then there was no cars. So the ones with the leopard skin is used for war or serious situations, and there's also one for the queen, which is this. So guys, we are entering into the building where the Asante kings lived and their administrative offices. So guys, this is the office of the late kings, and it has an old telephone, the Asante flag, the yellow, black, green, and the chair, and the map of the Asante Kingdom, and a library. And this is the living room of the kings, and they use it as entertainment. They use it to entertain visitors. So we have the king's chair, the first television to the Asante Kingdom, and the king was the first to actually have it in the kingdom. I'm going to mention their name because 3 Asante kings have lived here. Nana Prempeh the first, Nana Prempeh the second, and Otumfuo Osei. This is what they use to entertain themselves and their guests. And they also have Dami, and this was once played by the late kings. And this is 4 medals that were given to Nana Prempeh II by 4 governors of state, and the first one was given to him by Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, our first president. The second one was given to him by Haile Selassie from Ethiopia, and the third one was given to him by President Williams from Liberia, and the fourth one came from the British. So this is the room of Nana Yaa Prempeh II, and it's used to entertain dignitaries. He was 39 years old when he was installed, and he ruled for another 39 years and passed on at the age of 78 in the year 1970. And that's his sister Nana Yaa Asantewaa, who was the queen of Asante, the 12th queen of the Asante Kingdom, and he ruled from 1945 to 1977. These are what the kings used to serve their guests. And there is a lesson here with picking the glass. Please, who can tell me in the comment box? So this is the Shedom chair that the king sits on in public. It was gifted to him by Queen Elizabeth, and the other chair is also gifted to him by the Central Region House of Chief. And guys, this is the dining table and the family Edenwell bowl, and it is said that they all eat from the same bowl, like all the men eat from the same bowl, as well as the women and the children, and it brings unity to the family. The palace also has this everlasting refrigerator. After 74 years, this refrigerator still works since 1950, Uncle 10, and it's said that it used to be powered by kerosene, but now it's converted to electricity. So guys, and there's also coffee cups, teapots that was used by Nana Prempeh, and some of these, especially the teapot, was brought to the Asante Kingdom by Nana Prempeh from Seychelles. And guys, this is the 15th king of the Asante Kingdom, Otumfuo Osei II. He ruled from 1970 to 1999, and it was during his time that this place, this palace, this museum was converted to a palace museum, and he was celebrating his 25th birthday, and this is his mother, the 10th Asantehene Nana Efia Kobisewa Ampem, and she is also called Otumfuo's mother. And she gave birth to 5 children, and 3 died, leaving only 2, the first and the last. And the firstborn is the current Asantehene, and the lastborn is the current Asantehene. So guys, these items here are about 300 years old, but it was taken from the Ashanti Kingdom about 150 years ago by the British. During the 1874, the British looted many royal and sacred items from the Ashanti Kingdom during the colonial wars, especially during the Third Anglo-Ashanti War, and later during the War of the Golden Stool in the 1900s. Some of these items were taken to the UK and have been kept in museums like the British Museum and the V&A Museum, and in recent years some of these items have been returned to Ghana, especially the Asante Kingdom in 2024. So guys, I'm going to mention some of the notable items that were taken and their significance. So we have the gold sword of state, the Otumfuo sword, and it is used during ceremonial or royal rituals, and it symbolized the Asantehene's authority. The gold peace pipe, was also taken. The gold badges and the breastplates were also taken, and they are items that were worn by royals and chiefs during ceremonies. The gold royal stool ornament was also taken, and the gold stool washes, the akrafo kumu was also taken, and the royal jewel regalia was also taken, including beads, rings, and bracelets that was once worn by the Asantehene and other royals. So guys, this is the room of the 13th king of Asante, Otumfuo Osei Tutu I. He was arrested and exiled to Seychelles for 28 years with his mother. He was installed in the year 1888 at the age of 18, and at 26 he was arrested. And they also took all the unique items after he was arrested. Whilst the king was arrested, the Asantes decided that they would not install any other king until he is brought back. So, guys, this is a picture of the king and the British soldiers and 600 Asante men carrying the king in a palanquin because they refused to let their king walk barefooted to where he was being arrested, and he came back to the Asante Kingdom and he ruled till the year 1931. And this is his mother, Nana Yaa Asantewaa, the 10th Asantehene from 1880 to 1917. She was taken with his son, the king, because they noticed that the queen was so powerful, because during the 1884 to 1888, there was no king, and because it was the queen that was holding the two positions, so they decided to take both him and his son, because if they leave her there, the Asante Kingdom is still going to thrive. So she passed in Seychelles, and her remains were brought back to the Asante Kingdom. Last but not the least, Nana Yaa Asantewaa, the Queen Mother of Ejiso. So during the 1900s, the British wanted the Golden Stool, and at that time, they had already arrested King Prempeh, his mother, and several chiefs, and they had weakened the Asante Kingdom. So things escalated, and the British governor, Frederick Hodgson, demanded to sit on the Golden Stool. The Golden Stool, that is the sacred symbol of the Ashanti nation, that embodied their unity, their spirit, their royal authority. The Golden Stool is not just a throne, it is believed to contain the soul of the Ashanti people, and it was never meant to be seen, touched, or owned by anyone, especially not a foreigner. And whilst the male leaders hesitated to respond to the British, Nana Yaa Asantewaa stood up in a meeting and said, "If you, the men of Asante, will not go and fight for our throne, I will call upon my fellow women and we will fight." So she took this command and she led a rebellion, and that is what we know as the Yaa Asantewaa War. She was arrested while she was doing all this. She was 65 years old, and she was arrested and taken to Seychelles, and she died at the age of 89 in Seychelles. But the Golden Stool was protected, and it was never taken by the British. And so now we celebrate the bravery and the courage of Nana Yaa Asantewaa. Guys, this is not the end, because stepping outside the Manhyia Palace Museum, it's like walking through living history, but also true peace, true pride, and power. First, I was drawn to this massive tree, the Indian rubber tree, known in Ashanti Chi as Abere, planted around the 1916s. It's not just any tree, it's thick hanging roots and towering presence that have quietly witnessed over a century of royal history. In many cultures, rubber trees symbolize resilience and adaptivity, and in this space, it is standing here like a guardian, reminding us that the strength of the Asanteman isn't just in the swords or the stools, it is in the roots. As I walked further, I was greeted by a majestic peacock. It was almost like it knew its place here. And when I asked it to spread its feathers, it did just like that. The peacock, with its royal strut and crown like plumage, has always been a symbol of beauty, pride, and royalty. And in that moment, I realized that it belonged here among kings, among stories. Also, guys, I came about one of the most surprising things I didn't expect to find: a pound with catfish, but not just ordinary ones. These catfish were giant, they were swimming gracefully, almost lazily, but they were not lazy. What just that's how they behave, with power just beneath its surface. And I even got to feed them, and around me there were other people around, like children and all that. That you will see that right by the pond, there is also something even more symbolic. They have a sculpture of a porcupine, and but it isn't just for decoration. You know that the porcupine is the emblem of the Asante Kingdom, very fierce, strategic, and impossible to handle without getting hurt. So the Asantes say ukum apia apimbeba. So if you kill 1,000, 1,000 more will rise. That's the spirit of the Asanteman, never backing down, always rising. So right here is a sacred spot to just sit, breathe, and reflect, surrounded by the powerful Adinkra symbols like Jinyame, which means accept God. Guys, like everywhere on this wall, like there are symbols here. So you will see the Jinyame, as I mentioned, a ban, which represents safety and security, and Dumfe, which celebrates cleanliness, feminine strength, and nurturing. Guys, this place has a lot to talk about. Everything here has a meaning. And guys, there is also the Asante peace bell, and it was once used to signal important royal announcement and moments of peace after war. The peace bell was put out there by the UN for the king because of his peace in the nation. I saw kids playing, laughing with the Indian rubber tree, and I had to join in, and it was such a wholesome moment, guys. I'm so happy to be here because this museum holds the heart of the kingdom, and everything here is just so beautiful. As I leave this royal ground, I do not just walk away with photos or memories. I walk away with deeper understanding of who the Asantes are and where they come from. The Asante Kingdom was never just about gold or war. It was about wisdom, strategy, unity, and courage. It was about fighting for identity, for dignity, and for the future of the generations yet unborn. Today, I stood where kings once stood. I walked among symbols that speaks louder than words. I fed fish in royal ponds, and I smiled at the peacock as we know each other forever. And as I step forward, I carry this truth with me. The strength of our people isn't just in our past, but it's alive, it's here, and it lives in all of us. This is the Asanteman, and I am proud to be here today. Guys, please, if you love this video, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. And also don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of my videos. Please leave your opinions in the comment section and I will reply you. Thank you very much.